Hi everyone, this is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing, and I'm here today with Yves Mager, who wrote this fabulous new book called Hawaiian Rebirth. And he's here today to explain a little bit about how he wrote the book and why the book is so important for all of us to read. Hi Yves, how you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me, Katie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Yves, I know that you had an incredible experience right before you wrote the book that you wanted to share, but I would like to know, what does the audience, how do they benefit by reading the book or experiencing it?
So I think, you know, when you're in life, when you go through life, you come to sometimes having experiences which are really wonderful, which are inspiring, but then in a way to speak, you crash again. You feel like I'm back at square one, or I'm even farther behind. And then you know, this beauty, this amazing life, it's out there, but now at the distance, the gap seems even bigger.
Right.
So through this book, I'm really giving very practical advice how you can, you know, as you crash, so to speak, how you can get up, and how you can start to walk towards your dream. Well, you know, start to express your passions in a way more powerful way, and how to start to embark on a journey which becomes really beautiful and which gives meaning to your life, and that, you know, you become an inspiration to all the people in your life too. What I really wanted to create through this book, it's like creating a ripple effect.
Wonderful.
You know, it's like when you drop a coin into water, it's a ripple effect which starts, and so you become this coin. You drop it, but you start to inspire a lot of people around you too. So it's not just to embark on your journey, but it's ultimately really to start to make a difference, starting with your life, then your friends, your family, and just that this world ultimately becomes a better place.
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, there's an amazing list of who's who of people that recommended the book, and the foreword was written by Chris Atwood, who's one of the authors of The Passion Test. And The Passion Test, I see your passion in this whole presentation so much, and I can imagine that Chris was probably thrilled when he saw the amount of passion you had for helping people. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so Chris, and it's not just Chris, it's basic, it's a couple too. It's Chris and Janet.
Yeah.
Very, very inspiring people. Really, when I see them on stage, or just when I interact with them personally, it doesn't matter if they're on stage or back there, they are just on fire. They are passionate about what they do, and they really have this unique ability to lit this fire. They have this ability to lit this fire, this passion within me, and ultimately enable me to help others to lit their passions as well.
Right.
And what it starts with is with clarity. So you really, as long as you don't have clarity, everything is a little bit like gray, misty, foggy, but as soon you get clear about what matters most to your heart and what is most connected to your soul, then you start to get on fire. And the fire, this gives you the life force you need to embark on this journey and to overcome the obstacles and to overcome the challenges which naturally arise as you start to embark on your journey. And here in this book, you have so many strategies and tools and techniques, what you can do, how you can get clear, and once you embark, how you can overcome the obstacles and the challenges which naturally arise.
So, this is your passion. Your passion is to help as many people through the ups and downs, and to really help them see their life's purpose.
Right.
And that's what I love about all of this, is that seems to be the missing piece for so many people, of knowing what their life purpose is.
Right. And I notice it so many times in like all-day life situations. You meet with someone, and then what most people conversations are, so where are you from, or what are you doing, and there's kind of this for me, it bores me pretty quick, and I just like, I want to know, okay, what are you passionate about? What are your values in life? Why are you here? And once you are able to readdress conversation more in this direction, the heart opens up. You start to connect on a deeper level, and then you get in a conversation which just doesn't end after 5 or 10 minutes, and you pass away again. You actually start to connect, and with this sort of when you meet this sort of people and are able to connect in this more meaningful way, you might end up spending hours, and you discover so much more about each other, but also about yourself.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful.
And I think what is very important as we talk or communicate, what it becomes so important nowadays is also the art of learning how to listen. So, because it's one thing is how to learn to discover what you're passionate about, or you get more clear about what your mission in life is. But then the big challenge it has been for me, and this is for many people, working, how do I communicate that to the world around? And for me, a major aha moment, so to speak, was when I returned for the first time from Hawaii. I went back to Switzerland, and I was so excited and on fire to share about all these great things. But what I really realized is, I shouldn't forget to ask people, what is important for them. And I think the world, the way I perceive it, it's a very loud world. And like in a lot of stores, the music gets louder and louder, and I feel like a lot of people are like, in a way, almost screaming. They're screaming for attention. I want to be seen, I want to be heard. But in a way, to be seen or to be heard, you need to learn to listen first. And that's very, very important part.
Well, right now, the whole way people are connecting is by being their authentic self. And I feel that this book would help anyone learn how to start the process to being their authentic self, and to start that journey to learning more about themselves and their gifts. And then the next part of the journey could be to work with you one-on-one as a coach to really help them identify their passion and really get a chance to make their major contribution to the world.
Right.
And with social media and all the different ways to connect now, if you're still trying to hide behind a facade and you're not being your authentic self, you can't connect. You can't find your tribe. You can't engage. And so Eves could be the perfect coach for you to help you reconnect to you and live a much more happy life, much more joy in your life.
And yes, that's true. And for me, even after I wrote this book, I kind of thought, okay, once I finish writing this book, okay, everything will be fine. Then you're done. But I'm still a human being. I'm still on this journey. I still experience obstacles and challenges along my way. But I have no other choice than to keep going. And it gives me also through these experiences, you gain your own insights, but you can share them with others as well. So I don't see myself as someone, I mastered everything, I'm a master coach, but I think through still having these experiences, it helps me to connect with the people where they are coming from.
Right.
With everyone.
Well, Eves has been to 35 different countries around the world and been to multiple sacred sites and learned sacred initiations. So he's being modest about the way that he coaches, because he brings in more than traditional coaching. He brings in a lot of multi-dimensional assets and knowing that he can do with each one of his clients that helps bring out the best in them. So I want to make sure that the audience knows of what a tremendous gift Eves has, and that he uses them to help everyone that he meets. It doesn't matter if you're a coaching client or if you just meet him in a bookstore book signing. You can feel his energy.
And I think, yeah, thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Katie. And what is very important, how I want to share this, is about how this whole coaching work came into place. Initially, after I had this experience, it was a healing experience. I started to do healing work for a couple of years. But what I experienced, like a lot of people, they had a wonderful experience. They felt better, but then they didn't do anything by themselves. So I ended up coming back. And from there, I wanted to find ways, okay, how can I empower people
Perfect.
once they leave, what they can do. And I started to do this one-on-one, started to do the workshops together with Eunjung, but ultimately I wanted to find a way to put the essence of everything I've done over the past 10 years and to put this essence into a book. And this is all, yeah, you can find all of this here in this book.
Wonderful.
But in a way, it's a starting point, but it still just scratches the surface.
Right.
Because how you said, Katie, how do we put these experiences, these energies, these frequencies, how do we put this in words? And sometimes really feels the human language is very, very limited.
It is.
How to express. And so this book is not only, a lot of words, but also what it has inside, a lot of pictures from the sacred sites. And it's on purpose, because just by seeing it, you receive a certain energy. And also what I did, as I wrote, and now also as the book is out, I work every day with this book, put the energy inside.
I understand.
And this is what people who started to read the book, that like, someone wrote, did you spike this book with, with something? Because I was reading, I couldn't stop reading, and then I was like falling asleep at one point, and I woke up and I felt like after I had an amazing healing session with you.
Wonderful.
Or someone else who was reading it said, like, as I'm reading it, I hear your voice. So she is reading the book, but in a way,
Wonderful.
and so other than the techniques and the strategies, everything what's contained in the words, it's really ultimately a piece of energy and frequencies.
Right, right.
And you mentioned the many countries you travel to, the sacred sites. As you write about it, you give this power. And so there are a lot, like, it's a lot of, from the healing system from Hawaii. Mm-hmm. If you go to, another story is about Egypt, the Neterus, the different aspects of the divine. And this is all contained in the book as well. So as you read this book, basically from the comfort of your home, without having the hassle of traveling and with the jet lag.
You don't have to pack your suitcase.
You could just be at home and really receive and integrate these energies from the sacred sites by reading this book as well. And I think this is what makes this book really, really unique and very special, and it's a must-have.
Yes, great.
I think so.
And I have to say, I want to thank you so much for the work you do in the world. That I feel it's so important and it's so timely what you're doing, because I think more and more people are waking up and they're going to need a guidebook and a guide through the new realizations, especially when they realize that they're the creator of their experience and they want to create something beautiful. Yes. So I really appreciate everything you're doing, and I want to thank you for all your work and your contribution to humanity. And I want to ask and invite the listeners to check this book out and get yourself a copy, and after you read it, check out everything that Yves does, and see for yourself what a difference it'll make in your life. You'll be glad you did. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.